Hey everybody, forensic genetic genealogist Christine Burke here, and I help the police and people find persons of interest using genetic genealogy. And if you're taking a look at this, it could be working a law enforcement case, or maybe it's just a personal case and you're looking for your biological family. And every week I try to draw inspiration from Sun Tzu's The Art of War, turning it into the art of genetic genealogy and learning strategic ways based on his teaching. All right. And today we're going to talk about strategic alliances. When I first started my journey to find out who I was, if you don't know, I'm what's known as an NPE or an MPE. And so is my mom. Our biological fathers were not who we thought they were. And so I started my journey and I started looking at these matches and trying to figure out who I was. Now, Sun Tzu talks about, and I'm taking a look at the post here, Sun Tzu talks about strategic alliances. United we conquer. And yes, you can, without anybody's participation, using the genetic genealogy correctly, figure out who you are. But you can kind of gain a leg up, for lack of a better word, if you can form strategic alliances for people. Now, obviously, what does that say? When you're trying to put together your case or your family, you need to figure out who the heck these other people are, right? And you can do it depending on, right? If you're working a law enforcement case or you're working a family case, working a little bit differently. But at some point in both options, you can reach out to people strategically and ask for information. Or you can go online and look at records. You can look at family trees. You can look on social media, all kinds of things that you can do to get information. But if you can find a strategic alliance with a relative, okay, whether you know them or don't know them, if you're on a DNA journey, you probably don't know them. That will help you, right? Because not only looking at your centimorgans and your relationship, but looking at how that other person fits in. Because, like I tell my students, uh, if you don't have the family correct, right? So let me back up a second. When you're doing genetic genealogy and you don't know who you are, or you don't know who your person of interest is, you have to build a family tree for those matches and for those people, the family of origin, we'll call it. But some people, just like myself and my mom, and many people we're discovering, don't really know who they are. And like the old saying, garbage in, garbage out. And so if you're looking at family trees or you're looking at inaccurate genealogical records, that's going to send you down the wrong path. So the first place to start is always making sure that you have the biological family and your matches straight. You have to have everybody in their accurate positions on the family tree before you can go in and place yourself. And that's where the strategic alliances come into place, right? It talks about forming alliances with relatives, okay? It says they're not just family. Well, if you're on a biological or law enforcement case, no, they're not just family. They're probably unknown people to you, but they are a really good source of help, okay? It also talks about sharing information and pooling resources. Yes, comparing notes and pooling resources. And one of the best things with a strategic partner is that not only are you looking at your DNA compared to everybody else, your position in this biological family, the family of origin, but when you have somebody else, you can kind of, I don't want to say triangulate because that gets into kind of a different concept, accurate, but don't want to be confusing. You can look at that person's position relative to everybody else, right? Because a lot of times we see what's on paper isn't necessarily accurate and people's family trees are wrong. So if you are trying to uh, find out how fast you're going and your speedometer is broken, it's not going to be accurate, right? If you're trying to tell time and your watch is slow, it's not going to be accurate. You're going to be late or early if it's fast. You're going to be late everywhere. So having strategic alliances are so important because it will help you confirm the places of the other people in the tree using genetic genealogy. Okay. And it says, united we stand. In the battlefield of genealogy, unity is power. United with your relatives, you create a formidable front against the challenges of tracing your family tree. Yes, many times we encounter people that don't want to be helpful. They don't want to open Pandora's box. And that can not only be defeating, but it can make things more challenging. So try to form strategic alliances and work together to help lessen the unknown quantities and, most importantly, get the base tree of the family of origin, get those people straight before you try to put yourself or your person of interest into that family tree. So, United We Conquer, if you need help with anything related to a police case or a personal case, please feel free to reach out. I hope this has been helpful, and we'll continue on with the art of genetic genealogy.